Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Hope everybody's having a blessed Saturday. You know, the Most High, the Creator, God, He has a purpose for all of us, There's a purpose for all of us, literally. You know, a lot of us out here just seem to miss it, Like most of us seem to miss it, and we come here, some of us come here over and over and over, and still miss it. We still don't get it. And it's because things have been set up out here to be like that, You won't really catch it if you're not really paying attention. Especially when you put your faith and you put your trust in things outside yourself. Especially when you put faith and trust in things outside yourself. Like money, popularity, fame, food, recreational activities, relationships, anything literally outside yourself can have you distracted and kind of missing the signs, that God's trying to show you. Because all of us have a certain mission out here. But, the way they set up the system, it's like a lot of us be sleeping, including myself, I was definitely there. I've probably been here several times, and gone through the same things. Putting my faith and my trust in things like, money, security, control, other people. When, it tells you in the Bible, like, this, don't put your faith and trust in man, put your faith and trust in God. No man is going to help you out of your problems. Nobody's going to really help you out of your problems like that. If anything, they're going to control it, and kind of like have you still on a road where you're not really fulfilled and know what your real purpose out here is, really and truly. Yesterday, I was down here by the water and I met somebody. Somebody came up to me and started talking to me. I noticed his accent. He was white, but I noticed his accent sounded like he was from the islands. To find out that he was Trinidadian. And this guy seemed like he was going through it, like he was going through his own personal hell. Literally to the point like he looked bruised up, like he was drinking. And I pretty much asked him what's wrong, what's he going through, and he said pretty much, he just got into a fight with his girlfriend that he apparently lives with, and she's like, don't come home if you're drinking. But he explained more and went deep into it and explained how, this girl pretty much, drags down, takes like sucks his energy dry. Pretty much is always shouting and complaining at him. And it kind of reminded me of something that I went through for 8 years in my relationship with a female. And it's not to really put any kind of blame on anybody in particular, because it isn't really, there's no real blame on anybody. When these things happen, it's literally, this is just how I feel, it's literally a reflection of yourself. Meaning, like, the same kind of abuse that person is putting on you is the same kind of abuse that you put on yourself. Literally. Like, the way he looked is like, like he's somebody who's addicted. And he explained he is kind of addicted to drugs and alcohol, but he says he does it because it's like he doesn't have a reason. It's like when he doesn't do it and he tries to stay sober, he feels more more, like he feels more of the pain. Like he doesn't know. He feels lost, and he gets angry and irritated, and it's like he has to really, because when you're sober, you have to deal with your life. You have to deal with the reality of your life, and what you're really going through. And there's ups and downs to this life that we live in, this experience. There's always going to be ups and downs, but it's really how we handle them. It's whether we're going to use something to run away from them. And it could be something as simple as food, or simple as sex, that you use to run away from your problems, because we all go through some problems, and instead of facing them at the forefront, we usually run away from them, especially when they're big problems, like stuff in our life ain't really going the right way. And we comfort ourselves with food, with sex, with television, with video games. Well, there's a lot more vices nowadays than there was even back in the days. Back in the days, they didn't have so much stuff to distract you and keep you preoccupied to the point where you're not really facing your problems and growing as a person. So you just stay stuck. You just really stay stuck in this same loop with all of these different things that can distract you and that can have you addicted, addicted to different substances, and that's not just for drugs. But at the end of the day, it's like we remain lost when we don't really face ourselves and face our problems. And it usually has to do with ourselves. The pent up anger or resentment or pain, from going through some kind of trauma or going through some kind of problem and not really healing the proper way, using some crutch to pretty much escape how we're really feeling, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, and there's a much healthier way to face your problems. And it starts with just looking within yourself, looking at yourself instead of running away from the problem, using some vice. I did it for a long time. Like when I seen this guy, it reminded me of myself. It reminded me of the same stuff I was doing to myself, and wondering why I wasn't getting nowhere in life, and wondering why my results was never getting any better. Wondering why I attracted all the wrong type of people into my life. And yeah, it was due to not facing those problems head on when they came. It's like I pushed them to the side. And it was just like scared to deal with them. Or, I would push down a lot of anger instead of releasing it and letting it go. And that played a huge problem in my life. And I could see him going through the same thing. And I pretty much just had a nice long chat with him, and gave him the best advice I could give him, and where I was coming from. Everybody has different circumstances, so we all go through different things that kind of play a different role, and we might have to make different steps in order to get to the same conclusion, like get better results out of life. But at the end of the day, I feel first and foremost, if you're focused on your mind, on your body, on your soul, just focus on those things. Like, focus on those things first, and you'll actually start seeing the results that you want to see. A lot of people out here, they focus on finance and focus on the glitz and the glamour and what looks nice on the outside, from everything, like from food to TV shows to everything. Like literally, people are looking at the glitz and the glamour, how nice it looks, the what do they call it? The aesthetics, But at the end of the day, it really starts with your mind, body, and health. If you don't have those under control and actually working towards those and building those first, then it's like building a foundation with weak material and expecting it to stand up and stay standing up. It's gonna crumble. It's literally gonna crumble. So, to anybody that's kind of struggling with these vices and struggling with addictive habits, the best solution I'd say is to take some time, even away from people, because being around people usually doesn't really help the situation. Being too close to people doesn't usually really help the situation. A lot of people will enable you and won't help you grow. They'll want to see you stay in the same place, most likely, or they'll want to see you grow so they can pretty much just take advantage of you, and they won't want to see you grow to a certain extent. And that's why you should take time to yourself to actually learn more about what's causing these problems and what's keeping you in this loop, or what's keeping you stuck in life, so you can actually take the steps that are necessary in order to get better results. For instance, I had to stop smoking. I had to stop drinking. I had to stop putting myself around the kind of company that was dragging me back to those same kind of things, those same kind of vices, because I would put myself around people that would enable me to do these same things and wouldn't really question it or say anything was wrong with it, So I would remain in the same place, but even other than your mind, body, and soul, I feel having a strong connection with that comes back to your spirituality, your soul, because the more spiritual you are, I feel like spirituality is a very important part. Being very connected to God, or to just that higher source, whatever you would want to call it, is a very important part of this whole thing, of getting the results that you want out of life, to finding your purpose, to finding what actually brings you fulfillment. But with that being said, and I know I said so many times, but yeah, I don't really make videos on a regular, so this is something very new to me. But whoever got help out of this, or whoever even has any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I'm more than willing to answer. Love and peace to everybody, and I hope everybody has a blessed day.